ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're here to read chapter 1120 for One Piece, which is crazy. We're this far in, but we are. And Oda's been cooking. I'm glad Oda's there's no break this week. Obviously, you had one last week, and from what I've heard, there's not one next week, which means Oda seems to be back into his normal swing of things, which is really exciting. I think before the last three in a row we had, I think it was like several months before we had one. So now it's good that we're not having break after break like we were for a while. So I'm very excited. Glad to see a lot of you guys here already. You almost have 100 people here, which is amazing. Thank you guys. Um, Also, the poll. So I saw red was winning for the background lights originally, and then I saw it turn purple at the end. So we're doing the half and half. The red one is like glowing, like it's actually on fire. I didn't do that on purpose. That's because it reset because my power like flicked off a few days ago, and I just haven't reset it. But I thought it looked kind of nice, so we're just gonna leave it. It's like a lava lamp, but like actually lava. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you guys. Steve Irwin06, my cousin, I see you in the chat. Appreciate you for being here. He doesn't even read One Piece or watch it, but like he knows some of the things, but he's still here in the chat supporting. So I appreciate you, man. I saw a couple supers I want to get to real quick. ZMP323, one of the all-time goats of the channel, with a $2 super chat. Getting a haircut soon. Will watch later. Enjoy. I actually just got a haircut yesterday, so we are mind roping on a major level there, ZMP. You guys might be able to see it a little bit. See how short that is? That's not usually how short it is. Maybe I'll show you guys after I react. It does not like it looks bad. It's just really short. And I'm just going to give it a couple days to grow in. But I usually wear the hat anyway, so figured I'd just throw it on. Good vibrations. Member for 20 months. That's got to be the highest number that I've seen before for the memberships. So appreciate you with a bunch of W emojis, my man. Thank you as always. Bringing the good vibes from Good Vibes. Kush Daddy with a $2 super chat. Simon or Garfunkel. Okay, Kush. That's not even fair, man. You can't split the two up. You know what I mean? I mean, if I have to choose, see, I don't even know which one did what in the band. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even sure which one was the singer. I don't even know how they really broke it down. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Not that I really know. Oh wait, so they aren't friends anymore? I didn't know that. They were best friends until they did a certain song, then they aren't friends at all. I didn't know that. See, now if I pick one, I'm really, I'm making enemies with the other side here. I'm gonna go Garfunkel because it's a funkier name because funk is literally in it. But that's the only reason I could come up with. Um, Let's see. Lonely Mage, one of the definite goats of the channel with the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you. I love when I can actually catch the donation right when it happens and say something because usually I'm behind. So, Lonely Mage, I appreciate you. I got to say it before the people even got gifted the memberships. It's still like calculating or whatever it does on the back end. So, I'm excited to see who gets those. But Lonely Mage, definite W's. I already see people putting W's in the chat. Definitely well deserved. Thank you very, very much. And I also want to give a couple quick announcements, just real quick. So to all the members who are waiting for the TCG giveaway, because the sign up was like a month ago, if you saw the post, the box I delivered, or box I ordered did not get delivered. Okay, yeah, I said that right. And it still hasn't moved, so I ordered a second one, but the second one is not here yet either. It is supposed to get here Saturday, so if it gets here Saturday, then we'd have the giveaway on Sunday. So we'll figure that out. But to any members who are getting memberships now, we're gonna have another sign up for another giveaway here whenever I get that one done. So that'll be something to look forward to. And then also want to say thank you to everyone for supporting the Redacted channel. I just did a discussion with King Recon that was definitely an awesome discussion, at least from my perspective. And I actually put it up early because I usually try to do the main channel videos and Redacted at the same time, but I had to wait for the main channel video longer, and I didn't want our stuff to get debunked from the chapter, so I released it early. But it did really well, so I want to thank you guys for that. Major shout out to King Recon, for sure. I think everyone loves Coach, so it was awesome getting to talk to him. And then also, video about Lodestar coming tomorrow on the main channel. We've been talking about that one for a while, so be on the lookout for that. we're going to see here if I have to include anything from the chapter, but I have a feeling I won't have to worry about that. Not that I know anything. I have not been spoiled at all, but Lodestar has been mentioned like 2 times ever in the whole story, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah. Kuya, you said shipments are extra slow due to the storms. That's a good call out. That is probably a factor. Um, and the shipments going slow is okay. It's the one that's just stuck at the post office and hasn't moved that's the problem. But maybe I'll just get a refund or whatever. But the other one should be here on time, I think, for this weekend. So should be all right. Then 3-Day, I saw you in the chat too. Appreciate you for sliding in. Literally one of the all-time goats. I've known 3-Day since even before I started YouTube. So, literally, like goat of all, like greatest of all time, goat of all time, for real. Yeah, no spoilers in chat, please. No offense. I'm only reading the blue and green names right now just to make sure I don't get spoiled because. Not that I've gotten spoiled from the chat before, but I did from comments, so I just trying to be safe. But why don't I go ahead and just get into the chapter, and then there won't be any spoiling that could even be had. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now. Also, I note at least on my end, it doesn't say that like the memberships that Lonely Mage gifted have been given to people yet. Like at least maybe it did, and it's just not showing up for me. But hopefully those work. Also, I just remembered, thank you Lonely Mage for reminding me, I can also give away 5 memberships. It is July, so I have another 10 memberships to give away, so there's 5 of them. So now let's see if it works here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any memberships pop up for me here either, which is very interesting. I mean, hey guys, maybe click the little green bubbles at the top and hit allow gifts. Maybe there's no one in here that can accept them or something like that. I'm not really sure what's going on, but oh, good vibrations. Thank you for the 5 get to memberships. You're helping test the systems here. Appreciate you, my man, for real. Thank you. That's 5 more people. Well, 15 between all 3 of us, I guess, that can be eligible for the next giveaway, but. That's very strange that it's not being applied. Just make sure you guys have allowed gifts on. Maybe it'll happen at some point, or maybe like way later tonight it'll finally kick on. And I don't know. I guess while they're still up there, make sure you're eligible. Azagast, my guy, also gifting 5 memberships. It really means a lot. You guys are helping me test the system here. We're stress testing. Thank you very much, Azagast. Thank you, Good Vibes. Thank you, Lonely Mage, for real. That means a lot. We haven't even started the stream yet, which is amazing. I have heard that this is a great chapter, so I see we already have 150 people here, which is a very good amount. So thank you, guys. Like the stream if you haven't already, because it does do wonders for the algorithm. But, there's not music playing? Thank you, Vex, for telling me. Oh, it is off. Hey, well, there we go. Now there it is. Thank you for telling me, Vex. That's a big W right there. I think I turned that off because I was doing the thing with King Recon and I recorded it here, but I didn't use this thing. Whatever. We fixed it. Vex, my guy, sexy Vexy from Texy. Vex, I hope you're doing well. I don't want to dox you too much, but I know you may have experienced some natural weather phenomenons recently, so I hope you're doing all right. But all right, we're gonna get into the chapter now. Hopefully the memberships work at some point. We'll figure that out later. But for now, let me go ahead and get into chapter 1120, which I did notice was called Atlas, and that means Atlas is dead, right? If you have a chapter named after you and you're not one of the main characters of the story, you gotta be getting cooked, right? This has to be Atlas's sayonara moment. We'll see. As for the cover story here, we got Denjiro making an appearance. He's already appeared in the cover story as many times as he did during the raid after he disappeared that one time. He just popped in and was like, let me help you with Orochi, and then we still don't know where he was the whole time, so he's already making another appearance. Kid's getting put in timeout by the daimyo of Kibi, Denjiro. So Okay, so the scabbards are daimyo of the different regions now? Is that how this is working? That's interesting. It makes sense, but it's just interesting. I gotta think about that a little more, like what the ramifications of that could be. Like, is every region doing that, or is there just a couple that needs a leader, and so they're just putting some of the longer tenured ones? If Kinemon is in charge of any region, that region is done. All right. No offense to you know what? No offense to Kinemon. We saw his planning abilities in full force during the raid. I don't want to live in Kinemon's area. Kinemon's probably just stuck in the flower capital, if I had to imagine. But hey, you know, going back to what I was saying about the cover story of the last couple chapters, I'm super happy that Yamato is finally out of the city. But now we've been in Kibi for like we're at the same spot as the last cover story. Like, Oda's just taking his time. So I bet you this is going to be a really long one because we're already 10 pages into it. So, all right, here we go. Diving into the chapter. 26 years ago at Punk Hazard. Okay, I like this. I implore you, Vegapunk, please aid us in our research. It's imperative that we study the Void Century. The world's history can't remain shrouded in darkness. Is this Clover? Yep. Oh, you can just see the little clover on his head. I figured that had to be it. I mean, just based off the research, right? Our research requires expertise in numerous fields. I work for the government now. I can't afford to leak my findings. How many times have they caught you anyway? Open your eyes. Can't you see why they keep letting you go free? They're hoping to flush out your allies. Stand down. Let the past remain shrouded. You won't find the answer to good and evil in a bunch of old stories. Vegapunk Cook. Oh man, I love that line right there, Vegapunk. Also, this is 26 years ago. I might have to actually go make some changes to the Lodestar video now. This is interesting that he's doing this, but I once knew someone who carried a D in their name. He was killed right in front of me. We grew up together. He was my big brother. My real name is Cleome. I don't know how to pronounce that. Cleome D. Clover. Oh man. Oda. I mean, you could have assumed he had the will of D by finding out the history and everything, but oh, I just love it. I don't know. It's like whenever we heard Lily had the initial D here and Clover had it, like Robin probably has it. Oh man. All right. I once knew someone who carried a D in their name. He was killed right in front of me. We grew up together. He was my big brother. My real name is Cleome, whatever it is, D. Clover. We were only friends. On that day, I lied to save myself. Tell me, how am I meant to accept a world where you can die just for having the wrong name? I love Clover so much, man. I remember when we saw that panel of him on the pirate ship, like raising the sword, and that hit me just for like recontextualizing Clover a little bit. This is doing it all over again. I love Clover. All right, here we go. History will only continue to be suppressed, and the people will never know. I'll forget about what you just told me, but I'm afraid I can't help you. Do your best to stay safe. Vegapunk, the voices of the past call out to you. Just wait. I'll solve this puzzle, and when I do, you won't be able to ignore them. Man, Clover, you put him in his place, man. You tell him. Vegapunk obviously is coming from a good place. Obviously, he's, you know, there's a lot of complexities here. Like, Vegapunk's not necessarily evil, but seeing Clover put him in his place right here, just that hits, man. And I'm curious in the chat, and maybe this gets revealed later in the chapter, I doubt it, but I'm just curious. So this was 26 years ago. This is the same time that Roger went and got Odin. Do you guys think that this discussion between Clover and Vegapunk is hinting that Clover did not yet translate the poneglyphs or decipher the language, and that's why he's here, like, asking for help? The reason I say that is, like, you know, you would think Roger would go and ask him for help if he could read them, and he probably would have. So this is making me think he probably found it out after this. We'll talk about that more at the end, because that's relevant for my next video. But, all right, 22 years ago. Let's get back in the chapter. 22 years ago, did you hear the news from the West Blue? O'Hara came face to face with a buster call. Take a look. It's the biggest massacre ever. They finally got that archaeologist, Clover. Hey, Caesar, don't talk, man. That's what happens when you look into the Void Century. No one's gonna make that mistake again. I implore you, Vegapunk. Oh, it looks like some brat survived. You must have had a chance to escape, Clover. Is he... Well, I'm just going to keep reading. You chose death. Was passing on your research that important? You fools, did you really expect someone to be curious enough to follow in your footsteps after this? Vegapunk, come on, man. You know someone's going to do that. Come on, man. Robin, obviously. Oh. Is this a Robin chapter? Robin's got to have a moment soon, right? Like, the Clover hype makes me think Robin hype is incoming, and I need it if that's what's coming. I'm like getting nervous because I want that so bad. All right. Someone once told... So this is the broadcast again, right? Okay. Someone once told me that the voices of the past call out to you. History is written by the victors. Clover and Doflamingo getting shine with the quotes. And the words of the vanquished are usually cast into a deep, dark ocean. That being said, their truth can still come to light if the oppressed carry it on their backs and endure. So we see Zeph, we see, I believe that's Tequila Wolf, and then we see Robin. Oh, we about to, dude, if we get a Robin moment. Hey, what are you doing? Hurry and blast off. And Vegapunk, for my part, I am leaving this to the world. Is this the end of, is that the, Vegapunk, I hope you ended it there, but we'll see. It's no good. We can't. That old centaur is gonna keep attacking. We're finished if he does. This ship can only fly for a kilometer. If the geezer disrupts our trajectory even a little, we won't make it. The wind's blowing north, and that's reducing our lift. Any further jolts will make us fall short of our projected landing zone. According to my calculations, if we miss the ocean, our damages will be critical. We have to get rid of him first. What? So was he speed blitzing? Oh, Atlas. Atlas coming in and just punching Lilith? Okay. Okay. Huh? Atlas? Why did you do that to Lilith? So she knocked her out because she's probably getting in the way, like she's shouting too much stuff and is overthinking it. Is that the idea here? I'll leave her in your hands, huh? Take off. I'll make sure you make it in one piece. Okay. What are you talking about? Lilith's access has been severed. Atlas is the only one left. Take Lilith inside, Zoro. Got it. Atlas, you've got to explain. So we got Nushjuro rushing towards Atlas. Is this Atlas's swan song here? Let's go. Jinbei, we'd regret it if we hesitated now. Do it, Brook. Right away, Zoro-san. All right. And so we got Atlas holding off Nushjuro. Coup-day, and we see Atlas lost an arm. But then the jetpack. Yo, this is hype. I'm not going to lie. The action sequences here. Oda, you're cooking. All right. See Atlas coming back around to just grab him again, even with like the jet thrusters. Bursts to finish off the coup-day burst. Here we go. And Vegapunk's talking again. All right. This broadcast of mine, I'm praying that this message gets transmitted safely. Vice Admiral Hound, sir, what is this? There's a snake, a boar, a bird, and now a robot. Where did these giant creatures come from? I honestly don't have the faintest idea. It's the huge robo, and look, Luffy's super pumped. Okay, are we getting an Emeth and Joy Boy meeting dialogue here? An Iron Giant? Joy Boy, I'm happy we got to meet again. You see Peter in the background. And okay, and we see Luffy is looking backwards. He's like, over here. Okay. Hey, Oda, having a little gag moment at this super hype moment is hilarious. Like that's so Luffy. You know what I mean? To like not understand. So I guess the robot is then using the voice of all things, and Luffy just didn't understand where the voice was coming from, I presume is the idea here, and so he got confused and thought it might be one of the Gorosei or something like that. I assume. Over here, you. So now we're back to Vegapunk, I think. I realized it would be foolish to blindly trust in a one-sided account of a 900-year-old battle. So Vegapunk is saying right here, this is Oda speaking to us to tell us it's not as simple as world government bad and ancient kingdom good. Part of this is Vegapunk trying to be impartial because he's like so smart. He doesn't want to be biased, I guess, in the situation. But I think this is also Oda telling us there's more to the story. Like, it's not as cut and dry as a lot of situations in One Piece are, right? He usually does a good job of making the other side seem, at least their motivations are justified, even if their actions are not, if that makes sense. But I came like before. Your enemy is my enemy. I am glad I can fight for you again, Joy Boy. You can talk? That's so cool. I will protect you from danger, Joy Boy. We must pound them to dust. It seems Vegapunk's speech is all but over. Topman, I want to see that other horn. I can't see it yet. I want to see if you healed up. Let's go. Hey, Straw Hat, is he a friend? Not really. He was saying something about protecting some guy called Joy Boy. Who even is that? Luffy, don't change, man. Never change. I love that. It talked? We didn't hear a thing. Definitely voice of all things. Whoa, really? So we got a robot using voice of all things, which I think is a hint that it's probably not just a robot, like it was a person, which I think a lot of people have theorized. Enough chit-chat. Shoot. We can't let them get away. But I think we should be able to scrutinize and learn about the past from every perspective possible. I only wish I had more time. But there are those who cannot be stopped. So we got the robot with Kachang. Is he about to just do some crazy work here? Is he about... Oh, I got it. Man, come on. It's ready to fire. What's going to come out? Nothing. Uh-oh. What? Watch out, robot. Creak, creak. I'm confused what's happening here exactly. I mean, obviously Jupiter's going in to bite, but it looks like there's like an explosion on the right. Like, did it not blow up when he wanted it to? Is that the problem? Whoa, robot. It seems the last 900 years have rendered those weapons inoperable. Peter, crush them where they stand. End this transmission once and for all. So now we got Saturn getting back into the action. And he's on the boat. Okay. I will not let you escape. Kuma. Bonnie. Huh? That's the Sunny. And hold on tight. We're going down. Are we going to make it? This is like, there's a lot of action in this chapter. Holy cow. So, you mean to make a grand sacrifice of yourself? Nah. I'm just lending a hand. Atlas stock's way up. Hey, major shout out to Atlas. That's the smile. Wow, Atlas, you went from near the bottom of my of my Vegapunk rankings to very close to the top with that one line. Edison still might be number one, but I'm still waiting to see where Edison went. There's no way Edison's actually dead, right? But wow, Atlas, I wasn't familiar with your game. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't. All right, 25 years ago, the pirate Goldie Roger achieved the unprecedented by circumnavigating the globe. We're gonna make it. It only worked because of you, right, Atlas? Man, Usopp, I love you. I have no doubt they heard the whole thing. The text is a little small here. Atlas' signal is gone. It's finally happened. I'm the last Vegapunk. So look, Nushjuro's healing. He got hurt by Atlas. That's cool. Not like permanently, but you know what I mean. I'm the last Vegapunk. No, not quite. We have let you say far too much, Stella. Indeed. This is the end. Oh my, I have really rusted away. This is the time you spoke of, right, Joy Boy? Can I use it? They must have heard the voices of the past from the purest source possible. I am confident you have all come to the same conclusion at this point, and I anticipate that is what will ultimately determine how things transpire in the future. What was that? Did he say Goldie? Are those... Who are those? Are those the... I don't even know who those people are. Are those the fishmen? The new fishmen pirates? Cover and color spread next issue. A visionary envisions the future. And that's the end of the chapter. Okay. So... well, I gotta say one thing, guys. Vegapunk saying that basically when Roger and them went to Laugh Tale, they must have heard the voices of the past from the purest source possible. Oh, buddy, you gotta move. Sorry, Cliff, you gotta get out of here, bud. My dog just like went right under my feet and I didn't have room. That's making me think Afro talk. I think he is theorizing about what the One Piece is right there. You know what I mean? The One Piece lets you hear the history from the purest source possible. Joy Boy's own memories. At least, you know, that's what I think for the Afro. But either way, guys, that was a phenomenal chapter. I mean, just so much action. This was, I mean, the lore behind it, seeing the robot finally do stuff, the gag. There's a lot of good stuff here. This was a long chapter, I felt like. Hey, excellent. I'm sure you guys are gonna have a lot of good theories about this. I guess real quick, I'm curious just because I don't even know if I'll be able to scroll up and see the messages at this point, but back to what I said towards the beginning of the chapter, I'm curious if you think Clover and Vegapunk having this discussion is Clover hinting that he has yet to translate the poneglyphs. Because Clover's out there asking Vegapunk for help, right? Like as if they hadn't succeeded yet in doing it. And I think that lines up because 26 years ago, that's when he asked for Odin to join the crew so Odin could read the poneglyphs. If Ohara could have done it by then, you would imagine they would have done it for Roger, right? We were talking about this in the Discord recently, so I'm curious what you guys think about that, because that is a big part in my next video, and it's crazy that is the first thing in this chapter. So that's amazing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get into some of the super chats now. I do have a lot more thoughts on this, but I feel like you guys are probably going to touch on some of it, so that'll, it's just easier just to get right into it. And also, major shout out to the 200 plus people here. Please like the stream if you haven't already, because it does help with the algorithm. Not just saying it, it actually does. But John Stoops, I see you send a $10 super chat towards the beginning of the reaction here. Been loving all the redacted collabs lately. Peak content on top of the goated main channel videos and theories. Finally, a good length chapter. Enjoy, Dak. It's a good one. John, thank you very much for all that. Totally agree about the chapter. It's extremely good chapter and long, and not just long in the sense of like Those filler stuff. It felt like every page was hitting. That was just a great One Piece chapter. Thank you, John, and also really appreciate the kind words about the Redacted channel stuff and the main channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to my second channel, Redacted, we're almost at 3K subscribers, which is super exciting. Yeah, I had a recent video with King Recon. None of it was really debunked in this chapter, so it's definitely still a good listen. It's a lot of endgame theories, and we talk about the SBS a little bit, but John, it really means a lot that you like it. Definitely going to keep doing those. And if you guys have like recommendations for people you would like to get on and maybe the topic that I would talk to them about, definitely let me know. Like, if somebody has like a really big theory or a lot of good thoughts on a certain subject, I'd be happy to bring them on for a discussion about that. Always looking for suggestions. But John, thank you. Terrible TJ, member for 16 months. One of the all-time goats. Also, like the stream, yes, please. If you guys haven't already, seriously, it does make a difference. It really, it's the best way to support the channel for free. I guess viewing also, but that takes a lot of time, right? So liking your stream really does help. Kush Daddy with the $2 super chat. Clover one shot when? Look, dude, I'll take all Clover content. I'll take a Clover movie. If I can get a movie about Clover initially going on his like journey to go find poneglyphs or to decipher the language and all that stuff, I would pay good money and I would watch it twice. And I'd pay money each time too. I wouldn't just sit in the theater all day. I'd pay for each ticket. Sam Fisher with the $5. Cleome, however you pronounce that, is pronounced Cleve. It's Irish. The name likely comes from Cleome or Cleve Soleus, meaning sword of light. It's from Irish and Gaelic folklore. Very, very interesting. I feel like that matters. Well, I guess the Irish part, because he's Clover, right? Like, that's the idea, I don't know. Is Clover's birthday St. Patrick's Day? Wait, never mind, that's the wrong tab. Is Clover, when's Clover's birthday? Is it St. Patrick's Day? It's not, but it should be. It should be. Well, either way, Sam Fisher, thank you for that. I feel like that's very interesting. There's got to be some kind of theories to pull from there in terms of like the mythology behind it. 3-day trip, member for 18 months, literally also one of the all-time goats. When you look up Clover's name, you'll see, but his name is basically Sword D Clover. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, 3-day. So that's what does that mean? I mean, because he had like a sword whenever we saw him on the ship the one time, but I don't think it's quite like that. Like, there's got to be a bigger reason. I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you guys got to say. And 3-day also said like and subscribe, everyone. If 3-day saying it, you got to listen. That's the one thing I've learned. Definitely listen to 3-day at all times, unless she's spouting that the pro Topman nonsense. But that's few and far between. Young Usopp with the $5. Like the stream, y'all. Man, it really means a lot that all you guys are doing the donations and just saying like the stream. Seriously, listen to them, guys, please. They're saying it, not me. I mean, I'm saying it too, but. Young Usopp, thank you. And everyone, if you haven't checked out Young Usopp, you definitely need to. Makes great One Piece music and theories also on the same channel. Definitely go check him out. One of my favorite voices on YouTube. Mr. Bushido with the $10. Bushido, I did see your DM earlier. I didn't have a chance to answer because I was just getting ready for the stream, but I'm glad to see that you're here. He said he had some theories about the chapter that he wanted to share, and not that he was spoiling me. You didn't do that, but just whenever I was done, he wanted to share some. So I'm excited to see what you got here. Clover may confirm my theory. His name is Irish for sword, and in a group in Ireland that teaches and preserves history. Very interesting. Relates to a sword of light held by heroes in a newspaper that an Irish revolutionary, I presume, edited. Okay, that's extremely interesting. So there's like, so he's tying to like a very specific group or like piece of history of Ireland. Like they're like Oda is paralleling something with Ireland very directly with Clover here. So I feel like there's a lot we could take from that. Bushido, I remember you had a lot of like Irish related theories before. I can't remember who they were about. Maybe Darling or someone. I can't remember. I genuinely can't. But I know you brought up some Irish folklore theories. So now it seems like this is definitely where we're headed. So That's super interesting. Definitely drop a theory on that in the Discord or something in the theory kitchen so I can check that out for sure. Let's see, Kuya Pixels member for 10 months and mod for 10 minutes because I modded you right at the start of the stream. Changing my rating, it's a 9.5 out of 10 chapter. What was the rating originally? Like an 8 or a 9? But 9.5 is pretty high, but I would probably go 9. I would 8.5 minimum for me. Probably 9. Excellent chapter. It's just because whenever you rate chapters, at least for me, there's a lot of complexities to it. Like obviously just the vibes is a big part of it, so there's some recency bias. But for me, this was just so jam-packed, and there was like a little bit of delivery and setup in the same chapter, which I love those, where we get a big delivery and like just a lot of, you know, fleshing out of things we already knew about from the past, like Clover here, but then also setting up for the next chapter with like Saturn being on the ship and whatever else is going on, right? Just I don't know, just a lot of cool stuff for sure. Let's see, Kush Daddy with the $5. Is Saturn referring to Peter the first time we see them acknowledging each other or their names? First time they were kind of humanized, I feel like. When you're saying refer to Peter the first time we see them acknowledge each other their names, do you mean in this chapter or like the first time they literally showed up? I guess is what I'm curious about. But I mean, they definitely don't feel very humanized. Like, it's weird because you know how, remember when Saturn started out like, well, he came in his human form and then went into Gyuki form, but then went into like awakened Gyuki form, and he felt like less human at that point. I don't know if they're all like Saturn's definitely in that mode, but it feels like some of them are kind of in like maybe like the hybrid. I don't really know what you would call that. But I don't know. I'm actually gonna reread this real quick. It is interesting down here where they're like York is like, Atlas signal is gone. It's finally happened. I'm the last Vegapunk. And then we see Nushjuro say, no, not quite. We have let you say far too much. Is he saying no, like York isn't quite the last Vegapunk? Is that the response there? Indeed, this is the end. Although I gotta say, it looks like we did get to see Topman's second horn, so it looks like he did heal. So it looks like the robot needs to... The robot malfunctioned, is obviously what happened here. But... very interesting. I wonder if Vegapunk's message has got to be over soon, right? Like, it can't be... I don't know. I'm a little confused about what Oda's plotting next. I'm a little like the way this ended. The more I reread this, it's kind of like his message isn't completely over, but I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go, because also the Sunny's about to land on the ship with Saturn on it, right? That's very interesting. But yeah, the dialogue here is a little confusing. I'm gonna reread this probably later and think about it more. Sam Minsky with the $2 super chat just for Atlas, RIP. Appreciate you, and it's your first super chat ever. Hey, major shout out to Atlas. Yeah, Atlas, that was a beautiful send off. Oda, you cooked to a crazy degree. I didn't feel a single thing for Atlas before this chapter, and now I'm sad Atlas is gone. So Oda, great job. That's amazing. That's how you do it. Sam Fisher again with the $5. I think a lot of us assumed that the Straw Hats were too busy to hear Vegapunk's message, but it's good to know that Robin is listening. Also, 19-page chapter. Oh, that's crazy. It was 19, because usually it's 17, right? Or like that's like usually the max. Sometimes it's 16, depending on how many double pages, right, or whatever. But 19's a lot, so that's why it felt so long. But But yeah, I didn't really think about that, but that's a good point, Sam Fisher. Robin's listening. We see Robin crying over there. Like, Robin's knowing that Clover's words are getting shared to the future in some way, like through Vegapunk, right? Like I was saying, I think Robin needs to chime in, because we've heard Rayleigh say it, and even Vegapunk kind of said it here. I forget exactly how he put it, but like I hear, like, did you really expect someone to be curious enough to follow in your footsteps after this? Of course, Vegapunk. Come on. Like, I love bringing up the idea of the next generation finishing the job, kind of, because that's what they're supposed to do. And so I love that Robin's listening, and hopefully she can chime in, because she knows maybe where Vegapunk's going with all this, right? Kuya Pixels with the $2 super chat. Rip Watless. I totally agree there. And more evidence why Nushjuro greater than Lopman. Also agree there. I mean, all the Gorosei are greater than Flopman, but you know, it is what it is. It's only a matter of time before we're all eating bacon. The whole world is in One Piece once they you know, put Topman on the rotisserie, which I'm still waiting for. Lonely Mage with the $10. Appreciate you. Someone earlier said Clover's name is an Irish word for sword. What if sword was founded because of the O'Hara incident by Marines who wanted to know the truth? That's a brilliant thought there, Lonely Mage, because you think about Aokiji, right? Well, Kuzan now, whatever you want to call him, because he obviously was moved by what happened at O'Hara. That probably spurred him to leave the Marines more than anything, right? I'm sure there's a lot of things he didn't like doing for the Marines, but that is one of the biggest things for sure, is the O'Hara incident. And I'm sure, like, you know, when Sengoku was trying to make Kuzan the fleet admiral, and when Kuzan was fighting for that, I'm sure part of that motivation was he didn't want situations like O'Hara to happen again. Not necessarily the stopping the history part, but more so the wiping out civilizations that are innocent part, right? And so for Clover, who obviously is, you know, tied to O'Hara very closely, for him to be named Sword, and maybe that's where they get the idea later to make the organization called Sword, that's, you know, meant to be Marines who do want to protect people from pirates, but not necessarily be lackeys for the government's, you know, BS over learning history. That would be kind of cool. And I mean, everything ties back to O'Hara in this story. I feel like the more theories I do, the more I realize that O'Hara is just like such a linchpin in this whole thing. And so I honestly like that. I don't know if I would go as far to say that's definitely it, because you also have the like Cypher Pole Aegis Zero thing, where like Aegis or Aegis or Aegis, however you pronounce that word, there's like several ways to do it. That means shield, and they're like the government's lapdog. So then to have Sword, the like offensive version of the shield, you know, to be the Marines who, you know, are kind of doing their own thing. I think that just thematically makes sense. So I don't know if that's necessarily why, but regardless, Oda might even do it for multiple reasons. So I love that idea, Lonely Mage. Brilliant. Mr. Bushido with the €2 super chat. 1021 or 1022. Something happens at the giant ship. I'm with you, Bushido. There's already a hole in the hull of the ship, and so that has gotten skirted over entirely, and I don't think that makes any sense. The ship should be like sinking, right? Like realistically. And now you have Saturn on it, and you know, Mars did get like flung away, but he's a giant bird, and I feel like he can come back. I mean, we saw with Kizaru, who is obviously light speed, so it's different, but Luffy also tried throwing him away and getting him out of the action, but he just came right back instantly. So I would imagine Mars is going to do something similar. Worst case, Mars could just do another summoning circle thing, right, and just teleport back. So I feel like we're going to have Mars back. So I think I agree with you, Bushido. At this point, what I would really like, because I brought this up in my video already, I still want Dorian Brogy to Hakoku Sovereignty the Sunny away, and doing that, like having them on the giant ship, and then they can Hakoku Sovereignty the Sunny while on the ship, thus destroying the giant ship in the process. That would be a really, really beautiful ending. I'm going to be honest. Like, all the giants would be cooked. You know, they have no way to escape, but still. And then Bushido again. So what happened to Stussy? She's not on the ship but left. That's a good question. I don't know. You know, sometimes in these like little in-between chapters, I feel like she could just be like sprinting over to the ship, and she could probably just skywalk over in the next chapter. You know, like I don't know if I don't know if that necessarily hints that Susie's up to something special. It could just be that Oda just didn't want to show her for a chapter. But it's interesting to think about, because Stussy's going to do something, right? I'm still a big believer that Stussy's going to get on the Sunny, not to be a Straw Hat, but just to go to Sphinx Island and meet the old Miss Buckingham Stussy. That just is way too perfect for me, but we'll see. JR Writer 203 with the $5 super chat. Minor detail, but I think it's so awesome what Atlas did, ultimately given she was Vegapunk's quote-unquote wrath. Hope Edison blows himself up and gets York. Ooh, I like that. I like that right there. Because Edison, like I said, Edison should still be alive, right? It said Edison's disconnected and York is all excited about being the last Vegapunk, but like we didn't see Edison die. And like, I mean, Oda never kills people in general, like, and if they do, we definitely see them die. So I like that a lot. And I like what you said about like the wrath part. I wonder if once we see all the satellites die, if we could go back and look through how they died and maybe point it towards their personality trait, if that makes sense. I think that would be pretty cool, and that seems like something Oda would do. So I actually really like that. But Edison blowing himself up to get York. As much as I love it, I still really want York to end up with Blackbeard and to be like his Frankie and build him like Seraphim and stuff. But if that's not gonna happen, I like what you're cooking. If York's gonna die, that should be how it is. Growth Stonked with the $2. Elbaf, here we come. Hey man, we're definitely headed there soon. I still got big money on a Sphinx Island trip, but we're definitely getting there soon. I mean, now that the Sunny is actually like in the air and headed down, we are a matter of chapters away, which I guess we always are, but we're single-digit chapters from getting off this island, I would say for sure. If Oda somehow stretches this another 10 chapters, where the Sunny is actively trying to get out at all costs and has been for like 15 chapters now, and the Giants are like on their last legs at this point, because like I said, we've got a hole in the hole, and they've just been getting beat up, a few of them at least. Like the ancient robot's almost done. Like, Oda, there's not enough juice. We gotta end this arc sometime soon. So Elbaf definitely coming soon for sure. Sam Fisher again with the $5. Thank you so much for all the donations and just the very thoughtful theories. The name Garling or Garland is of Anglo-Saxon and Germanic origin, meaning Holy Roman Empire and Charlemagne. I hope Shank's real name is Charlemagne or Wayland. Oh, okay, Charlemagne, that just Charlemagne Shanks, or Shanks Charlemagne. I mean, Shanks could just be like a nickname, right? It could be not even like his real name. Actually, I kind of like that. Fagarland Charlemagne. if that's his real name, that would be awesome. It just sounds so fancy for him, which I mean, it fits, especially, you know, if he really is a God's Knight and obviously got access to the Gorosei and all that stuff. He's obviously like, you know, up there in the importance of things. So for him to have like a fancy like royal name like that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. We need to see Garling in action. I don't know if anybody saw my the Redacted podcast with King Recon, but he has some really good ideas about when Garling is going to get active in the future that I absolutely loved. And I'm honestly a big believer in what he was cooking now. I kind of want to do a video on it. I'm not gonna lie, because it was so good. But kind of a big piece to that is Garling's like past, or like Shanks's family's past, or like what the maybe not mythology, but like the historical tie-ins, like what's Oda cooking there. That's kind of what I'm still working on for any video about the God's Knights or Garling. And what you're saying here is really interesting, honestly. Especially with the Clover stuff we learned. Like, obviously Oda is dipping into a lot of like real life history now, and so I wonder where that's all gonna go. Knack D with the $7 Canadian dollars. Love you, Dak. You the king. You think Edison's still kicking? Absolutely, 100%. It's just Oda's not gonna kill someone without showing us that. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a higher chance for me that all the Vegapunks are gonna live than Edison being dead, just because we gotta see it. You know. I'm sure he disconnected in some way, like broke something in his like internal wiring so he wouldn't be connected. He turned off the Wi-Fi, right? That's basically it. He restarted the router and he's waiting. And appreciate you, Nakdi. Yeah, and I love how people can reply to super chats. I see like the replies to it. I love that. That's so cool. Kabari 2600 with the $2. I think you missed that Peter bit off part of Emeth. I mean, is it... Okay. I thought I just messed the whole setup. I mean, is that what happened, or did he blow up the arm? Because it looks to me like... Because, like, if you look in this chapter, it looks to me more like his arm blows up, because if... Think about it physically, where if Peter... Like, if Peter's eye is right there, then his... Like his mouth is closed, so I get like the idea there, but like logistically it shouldn't make sense because his face isn't far enough to bite the arm. Does that make sense? Like he stopped him with the one arm and then it looks like the other one blew up. But I mean, that is probably what happened, but it looks a lot more like the arm just like erupted. It might just be both, honestly, because he was trying to blow something up and it didn't work, and then it looks like he maybe just like bit the fist and then the whole arm blew up from the socket is kind of the idea. It's honestly kind of hard to tell because you don't really see like the arm in Peter's mouth. You know what I'm saying? But either way, no, good call out. Like he probably did. The anime is going to show it way more clearly, but it also exploded at the same time. So whatever happened, but that is interesting. Either way, for sure. And David Cott, you said join the Discord for memes and discussions. Absolutely, everyone. Please join the Discord for sure. John Stoops again with the $10. What's wrong with One Piece Twitter /X? We'll just call it Twitter, you know. Multiple posts of Sanji looking up at the Sunny taken out of context, saying he was freaking out about Saturn. Just one example of the toxicity, especially with Zoro and Sanji. Yeah, I look, man, that's one of a million reasons I stay off of Twitter. You know, I feel like a lot of times, well, the algorithm rewards sensationalism. You know what I mean? Like, you get more views and clicks and all that if you're, like, crazy. Like, that's why some of us here on YouTube do somewhat clickbaity titles or thumbnails and whatnot, you know? But on Twitter, because there's so many voices, and like on YouTube, you can differentiate yourself with your content in terms of like, if you have a really good theory that keeps people in their seat to listen, that's going to get you a lot of clicks just because it's good content. And that's why I really like YouTube, is it's not 100% sensationalism like Facebook really is, Instagram really is. But Twitter is maybe the worst of all of them because you have only bite-sized pieces of text that's like your quote-unquote content. And so I feel like that's really where it comes from, is that the people we see on Twitter are the craziest ones because they're trying to get the clicks, and Twitter rewards them, where all the level-headed people just don't get a lot of, they don't get shown a lot because it just, the algorithm doesn't reward it. So I guess that's what I think, honestly, is that people probably don't even believe most of the stuff they say about this, but they just want to, get people all hot and bothered about stuff. So, I don't know. That's why I don't check out Twitter, man. You won't catch me over there unless I'm subtweeting certain big creators who steal my thumbnails. Knack D with the $7 Canadian. Okay, so you answered my previous question, LOL. Now, what if I said I think Edison is gone with Blackbeard? Bit of a stretch, but he could have gone with Augur. Well, he could have, but, we did see him like a chapter or two before like Augur was way off the island already, or like not off the island entirely, but like on the edge of it, like 10 chapters ago. And we saw Edison just a few chapters ago, like in the main part of the island somewhere. So that would tell me right there that like Augur would have to come back and get him and leave, which I don't really see happening. But by the same token, maybe it's not Augur, but Lafitte, right? We're wondering where Lafitte is because we have not seen him at any of the spots for Blackbeard, like Whether it's Winter Island, Hachinosu, or here, we haven't seen him. Even Amazon Lily, we didn't see him. And Lafitte obviously can sneak in and do pretty much whatever he wants. He got into Marie Joie, so now all bets are off for the future. So I can actually... I could see a world where Lafitte does come back. It's just Edison is like... Edison's a good-natured dude. Like, that's the way that it feels. So I don't think he would ever voluntarily listen. And, like, could he be forced to? Yes, but part of me is just thinking, like, for the purpose of the story, like, it would almost be better just to have York do it, because York is already evil. York is already scheming to, you know, have a selfish, high-up place in life later on, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of lines up, but the logistics are there for Edison, I suppose, because Edison is gone, so... Look, I just want one of the Vegapunks to end up with Blackbeard. If it's not York and it's Edison, that's fine. It's just Blackbeard getting one of them makes his stocks somehow even higher than they already are, which is what I want, please. NACD with the Canadian 279, pretty much exactly what I just... Not exactly what I just said, but alluding to it a little bit. Every faction gets a Vegapunk. If everyone gets one, that's fine. Whatever it takes to get Vegapunk, or to get Blackbeard one is fine. If Stella goes with the Straw Hats, and maybe Edison goes with Blackbeard, and then maybe York goes with the government, and then maybe Lilith goes with the Revolutionary Army, and then maybe Atlas goes with Law. I don't know. Just I'm cool with that. It's just as long as Blackbeard gets one. If there's only one, then Blackbeard gets one. You know, that's where I'm at. Hidden Forbidden 2. Kizaru equal Bonnie's bodyguard. Please. I'll take that all day. Kizaru and Bonnie join the Revolutionary Army. Bonnie becomes the pacifista controller, and Kizaru becomes the bodyguard, like Sentomaru was for Vegapunk. Kizaru now fills the Sentomaru role, but for Bonnie, give me that all day. Like, Oda, please. That's music to my ears, literally. Oh man, I need Bonnie on the Revs, guys. I need it. We already got you already have the Sabo connection. You have both of her parents being revolutionaries. You have, now she controls this whole army of pacifista, which, you know, Vegapunk couldn't work for the Revs because they didn't have money, because with the money he can build stuff, and obviously the government had it, and so that the government used that money, so Vegapunk could then make these pacifista. So then for them to still end up with the revolutionaries at the end of this, like, of this all, would just, like, come on, Oda. It would just be so good. David Cott, what will happen to Punk Records? Is the world government going to seize it? That's a great question. I think whoever ends up with York is also getting Punk Records. Now, there's a caveat there where I think Vegapunk himself, like the Stella, might live on through Punk Records. Like, I can definitely see a Vegapunk hologram scenario where, like, he's alive, quote-unquote, but he doesn't have a physical body anymore, thus going back to the what's real and not is a debate as old as time thing from the start of the arc. And so obviously if that were to happen, well then Punk Records would have to be with the good guys or whatever to make that work. But at the same time, you know, I mean, if, like, they said, you know, York can access Punk Records, which will make her basically Vegapunk level in terms of intelligence. And, you know, with the Mother Flame, she can make more Mother Flame so they can keep using their whatever weapon they're using, right? Like on the Lucia. So I can go back and forth a little bit, but Punk Records is definitely going to make it out. I'll put it that way. Someone's ending up with it, or even if it's just Vegapunk, but it's going to make it out for sure. JR Writer 203, hope Sentomaru is there for Impel Down 2. Man, let's just hope he's there after this arc. You know what I mean? That man is down and out right now, real bad. It's not looking good for my guy. I love Sentomaru. He said he had the toughest defense in the world, and that, I'm sorry, was big time cap. You know, I think he had pretty solid defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like I don't even know. I'm trying to make an NBA reference. Like, Sentomaru thought he was Wemby, and he's, I don't know, I was going to say Gobert, but I actually think Gobert's a really good defender, so that's not even good. I just know a lot of people make fun of him. I don't know. He thought he was Wemby, and he's just Dylan Brooks or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. I don't know. So we'll see. But I'm down, but I doubt he's dead though, to be honest, because this is Oda we're talking about. I'd be shocked if he was actually dead yet, but Impel down 2, that's a lot of action for him in the near term. I could see Kizaru saving him, and then maybe we just don't see Sentomaru till like the final war or something. But yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes because I love Sentomaru. Kush Daddy with the $10 super chat. Jar Jar Bink reaction wins. Yeah, I know we did talk about this, and I did see your message in Discord, but I didn't see it till like 2 days after you sent it, and I didn't know if I should respond. As with a lot of messages, honestly, because honestly, even work emails, sometimes like I won't get to a certain email for 2 days later, and I'm like, well, they did ask this thing of me, but you know, we're 2 days past it. They may have already figured it out. Do I even respond now? That's how I feel. So Jar Jar Bink reaction when? Very soon, my friend. Very, very soon. You know, let me get the next giveaway out of the way, and then we'll be talking. Maybe even during the giveaway. That'll be the place, because I know there'll be less people there than this one, so people won't. Not many people will see it. But it'll happen, my friend. It'll definitely happen, Kush Daddy. Oh yeah, and Kush Daddy, I meant to tell you, I can't remember the context now off the top of my head. Maybe I was talking to somebody at work, but I was telling somebody at work that I like about you. I was like, hey, I have this guy who always asks me like a music question at the start of the streams. His name is Kush Daddy, and it was just so funny to say that outside of like a YouTube context, because I was like that, like Kush Daddy is such a it's such like a funny name, you know, when you don't know that it's just like a handle, you know what I mean? And so what was supposed to be just me explaining how sometimes my live streams work ended up being a discussion about the name Kush Daddy. So I did want to tell you that. Very, very good name. Very good name. So I think I've got through all the supers. And so, I mean, if you guys have some more questions, I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any on Twitch. And I don't think I did. So, yeah, if you guys have more questions, definitely let me know. I'll stick around here for another 10 or 20 minutes for sure. Definitely want to chat a little bit more about this and see what you guys think, because a lot happened in this chapter, and I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some more theories to pull from this, especially with the Clover part, man. That's really, I don't know. Oda's doing something special over there. And also, I love how in this chapter, Vegapunk's like, someone once told me that the voices of the past call out to you. History is written by the victors, and the words of the vanquished are usually cast into a deep, dark ocean. That being said, their truth can still come to light if the oppressed carry it on their backs and endure. And I love how when he says that part of it, if the oppressed carry it on their backs, that's when Robin's crying. Because Robin is the one who is doing that. Obviously, the D-Clan in general is doing that, right? Like, they don't know it, but they are. It's like the way that I'm viewing it. Like, they have the D initial, the government hates them, they don't really get it, but obviously they're good-natured people who are against the government, even tangentially. But Robin is most directly carrying that on her back because she knew Clover, she knows the language, it's her dream to uncover that. And so just, Oda, I don't know, man. Oda, sometimes you cook. It's like big time. I gotta be honest. Like, that paneling right there, that's the type of stuff that the anime can't quite replicate. And of course, there's things that the anime can replicate for, like, or that the anime can do that the manga can't replicate. Obviously, I mean, movement in general, music, colors a little bit, because we usually get them in black and white. There's a lot of stuff, but that just kind of placement, I don't know. It hits so hard for me. David Cott, you said, how many chapters do you predict are left for Egghead? I'm giving this 5 tops. I'm maybe like 2 or 3. Like, and part of that is me hoping, to be honest with you, and part of it is me thinking, like, objectively. I would say objectively 5 is probably a good number, but subjectively I hope we're gone next chapter. And it's not, and I saw someone ask earlier, and maybe and I think I missed it. I don't think it was a super. Somebody asked if I still thought the message was dragging on. Like this batch of the message here and how Oda wrapped it into the stuff that was going on, it hits. Now, I might change my mind because, like, let's say Atlas isn't actually dead and we get more Atlas action, then I'm going to feel like this chapter was a waste, which some chapters have been like that recently. And so, I guess answering both questions at once, how many chapters do I think are left, and is it still dragging? If it ends in the next 2 or 3 chapters, then I don't think it's dragging anymore, and Oda did a good job of wrapping it up. If this goes on for 5+ more chapters, then absolutely it's dragging, and I'm gonna come back to this chapter and give it a much lower score than I currently am. I'm grading this assuming that this will be Atlas's demise, and, you know, we're not gonna have like a whole other can of worms in terms of like getting the Sunny figured out again. Like, I hope that's just a 1 or 2 chapter ordeal and we're gone, instead of, because we've been trying to figure out this Sunny thing for like 15 chapters, right? Like something like that. We've been trying to figure out how we're going to get the Sunny down there, and we pretty much just said Kude burst, and then we landed right in the middle of like this whole armada of ships, so that's what it looks like. So now we probably don't have another Kude burst, so that actually aids my theory a little bit that Dorian Brogue are going to Hokoku sovereignty us, because they're right in the midst of all the other marine ships. So yeah, I mean, as long as it ends soon, I don't think it's dragging, I guess. David, you said, I think there's too much stuff still to finish it. 1 or 2 more chapters. Kuma, Vegapunk's message, Emeth, Stussy. I mean, Vegapunk's message. So Kuma could die as a send-off thing to like hold off the Gorosei, so that could happen. Oda might just be waiting for that for the very end. Vegapunk's message hopefully will be over in the next chapter. I feel like every chapter we've been saying that now, but hopefully, you know, I don't know how much more he could even say at this point. Like the stuff he said in this chapter hit emotionally, but it wasn't like a crazy reveal, right? Like, this is Vegapunk playing hype man right now, more so than truth revealer, and I'm kind of okay with that, because it's cool and he could end it at any moment. You know, like, this isn't a type of thing where, you know, like he like a couple chapters ago when he ended it like, the people with D in their name, there's a special something I need to tell you, and then he gets cut off. Like, that's the type of thing where we're like, okay, we need another chapter or 2 of message to fill, you know, to fill in the blanks there, to like at least touch back on the rest of what he's saying. He could actually end at any moment at this point, so so I don't know, we'll see. And as far as Emeth, like, he's almost dead, so I feel like him and Kuma could have a final stand. Vegapunk's message could end at the same moment. And Stussy, I don't know. Oda will figure something out with Stussy. I feel like he's not too worried about her. Like, she'll get on the she'll get on there. Vex, you said 6 more chapters. I'm thinking about the bingo card. Hey, I love it, man. You remind me of my friends who bet on sports and will be watching a game. And they're like, all right, I just need this team to win by 4 because I bet on it. And it's like, they have no partiality to the game whatsoever. They could care less about anything that's happening as long as they win the bet. You know what I mean? Now this is a little more wholesome because, you know, gambling, at least sports gambling, is a little iffy in my opinion. Not that like us betting need to be morally worried about it, but in terms of the sports leagues, it's very questionable, right? Whenever like you're watching a basketball game and then they're like, hey, we're going into the 4th quarter, here's the live betting line, go on FanDuel and bet on this game. It's like, okay, a lot of room for issues there, like Jonte Porter, or Jonte is how you pronounce it, whatever it is. So I feel it. ZMP 323 at the $5. I hope your haircut went well, man. Yeah, I know you said that at the very beginning of the stream, right? That was you who said that. ZMP, I don't know if you were here, but I was saying I also got a haircut. That was you, right? I can't find it, but I'm almost positive that was you. I'm like 100%. But Kuya, free Jonte. But ZMP, I'll read your super chat in a second. I'm not gonna totally miss it, but it was crazy that you said you were gonna go get a haircut, because I just got a haircut yesterday. It's not bad. I'll show you guys now that we're towards the end. It's not bad. Oh geez, that looked bad. It's not that bad. It's just a little shorter than I wanted. Dang, it's like really vertical when it's not supposed to be. But I also just got a haircut, so yeah, we're mind roping. Let's see. You said Lilith and Edison being the only punks left makes sense. They're the ones who do the punk records library bit at the end of Egghead anime episodes. That is a good thought. That's crazy. I mean, like, it's not like, I don't know if it's like the biggest reveal ever, but that Oda doing that is cheeky. You know what I'm saying? Now, Edison might actually be left. So, well, you said Edison. Well, I'm pretty sure Atlas did one of those, which it still fits in because Atlas was the third one left. I'm almost positive Atlas did one of them earlier in the arc. Like, now it's Edison and Lilith for sure, but I'm pretty sure Atlas did one. Maybe before we met Edison, they had Atlas do it, was the way it worked. Whatever it was, though, having them at the end makes perfect sense, right? That's crazy. David Cott, you said, I think the next chapter is going to be Fire for the anniversary. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I guess... Yeah, because it'll officially drop on the anniversary of One Piece. Oda, let's get the Ancient Kingdom name in next week. Let's just do it. Like, why not? You know? Why not just do it, Oda? We're ready for it at any moment. Just have Robin hop on the mic, drop a couple words, and then drop the mic. Come on. Kuya, I can't believe you said free Jante, man. Come on now. I'd rather you say free Jante than free Miles Bridges or Kevin Porter Jr. though. They shouldn't even be free at all. You know what I mean? They shouldn't. Growth Stonks with the $5 super chat, my guy. It's possible Vegapunk is going to continue and complete Clover's will and say the Ancient Kingdom name. This chapter shows Vegapunk's directly inheriting Clover's will. Yeah, it's possible. I think it's Robin's job, you know. I think the best case scenario is Vegapunk is about to say it, and that's when the robot blows up, and then Robin somehow chimes in. It's the alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? It's like Vegapunk's gonna lob it up there, and Robin's just gonna dunk it home. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I don't know if anyone's been watching USA basketball, but you saw maybe Steph and LeBron have a couple oops to each other. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's Steph and LeBron. That's Vegapunk and Robin is Steph and LeBron. And I could probably think of an even better idea than that because, like, Vegapunk's the old guard and Robin's the new one, so I was going to say LeBron and Bronny, but we're not doing that. But we'll be lucky if Bronny gets any minutes. But Gross Songs, I totally agree that in general the Ancient Kingdom name getting revealed could happen. It should. With all the Clover hype here, especially in this chapter, you know, like come on. Also, I just realized this. Not that it's like a major shocker. I should have pointed this out, but in the Punk Hazard part, we see Vegapunk with that dragon. And is that the same dragon as later? I don't know if it's the one that was outside Punk Hazard, or wasn't there one inside also? I can't remember exactly, but because obviously he was working on them for a while, and I didn't even really notice that he was with one. That's cool. Just for continuity's sake, that's cool. I really like that. Is it dragon number 13, Hidden Forbidden? I can't see a number, but I hope it's that one of them we actually saw. You know what I'm saying? Same dragons. That's hype. Oda, I love stuff like that, man. Because I know you're watching the channel, Oda. I know you're taking notes and actively wondering what I think. I think you cooked there, Oda. Mr. Ichiro. Seaworthy said there's something looking over Punk Hazard's wall as well. Let me go look at that. Oh, yeah, you see the little horns? I think that's just like... Well, you know, when I saw that at first, I thought that was just like a symbol behind the wall. Like maybe he had like a statue with that or something. But honestly, what if that's one of the ancient giants that they were experimenting on back then? Because remember, that's how the numbers existed. I don't know. I'm liking the idea it's a silhouette for an ancient giant. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's more likely just like a symbol thing, like a something behind the wall or on top of the wall or something. But I like the idea that it's an ancient giant, so that's what we're gonna go with. Sean, you said, why do you think Emeth went to Marijwa 200 years ago? So my theory on that has been basically that he needed to stop the fishmen from joining the Reverie because then Poseidon would be under the ancient or the world government, and that would ruin the plans, right? Because obviously now we have pretty much confirmation that the robot knew there was a plan that they had to stick to, and like it has to be the right time and all that stuff. So I think tying to that, the robot went up the red line, messed with the Reverie so the fishmen wouldn't be invited back until the proper time, right? Like he probably knew that was not the right time for Poseidon to be working with the government. Probably no time is, but as long as Joy Boy's around when she does it, then it probably works. And so, like, you know, it wasn't a big deal this year, like this, you know, obviously the Reverie was years ago in our time, but this year in the One Piece world, the reason why it was okay for Poseidon to go now is because she already became friends with Joy Boy. So there's no chance of her being misled into what side is good and bad. And so yeah, so I think he just wanted to make sure she didn't fall into the wrong hands, essentially. Ethan, you said, I thought that was Who's Who. That's hilarious. It does look just like his mask, right? Imagine Who's Who just peeking over the wall like that. Big Cheap, you said, damn, I missed another reaction. Hey, man, it's all good. I appreciate you being here when you get here. This was a hype chapter, so, you know, you did miss a little bit, but, I mean, we're still going to be here for a little bit chatting, so if you got any questions or whatever, definitely type it in there. Vex with the $5 super chat. If York joins the Celestial Dragons, Vegapunk finally succeeds in creating a dragon. True. Is this part of a master plan? Like the stream, sub to Redacted, Thriller Barca's top one. Trying to think, support the bingo card agenda. There's probably some other things I could be saying, but appreciate you, Vex. Do everything Vex said. Everything. Thriller Bark. It's might be top one in my heart because that's where Brooke was, and the Laboon connection was cemented there. But everything else you said was straight cooking. As far as the creating a dragon part of a master plan, you know, I did have a video where I talked about basically Kaido's awakening and Sapphire Scale being tied together. I don't know if you saw that or if we talked about this, Vex, but I think like that's why we didn't see Kaido awaken, is his awakening is a true celestial dragon, like quite literally. You think about Sapphire Scale, blue sapphires, you know, it fits in with like the blue scales Kaido had. They're powered by the sun, or powered, quote unquote. They make people sicker if they get sunlight, but same point. And so with Vegapunk finally creating a dragon there, part of a master plan, I think there is a plan with creating actual dragons. I'm not gonna, like, I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of the story the celestial dragons get sacrificed to become dragons that Emu controls or something like that. Like, imagine a bunch of crazy space monster type dragon things flying around, burning up the earth and whatever, all under Emu's control, and those are the celestial dragons. That's why they needed, like, to be purebred or whatever, right? Because like they're all inbred, but however you want to look at it. So I'm a big fan of that, Vex. I think Vegapunk is definitely, like, Oda's using Vegapunk as a proxy for whatever this dragon stuff is going to be later on, for sure. XXL Spat. I don't know if I said your name right, because I know you have that symbol there that I don't know how to pronounce, but what do you think Emeth means by using it? My money is him blowing himself up. I think you're cooking. I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a really good question. Because he's like, can I use it? And so my guess here is that he is going to blow himself up. And he's going to blow himself up in the sense of, like he runs on the ancient power source, right? Like the one that Vegapunk couldn't figure out. So we could then presume that the power source he runs on is better than the Mother Flame, because that's Vegapunk's current power source for the island. And so if we already saw what the Mother Flame can do to an island, if you blow up this robot, it should be even worse, right? Or at least the same. And in my Void Century video, I brought up how I think, like, Eni's lobby was caused by an even better weapon than Lelucia that was running on the ancient power source, essentially. And so whenever he says, can I use it? I think this is him basically trying to do what he did at Eni's lobby, which was probably a mistake. That's probably why he apologized. And now maybe he's trying to right his wrongs by blowing himself up and recreating that same effect. But he's doing it in a good way because he's trying to kill enemies, right? So that's my guess, is he wants to blow himself up. And I think Kuma might do the same thing, because Kuma is probably also running on a similar power source, because no, Vegapunk didn't figure it out, and obviously he made Kuma into a robot, but Kuma is operating in a very weird way right now where, you know, Vegapunk doesn't really understand it. He thought Kuma would be like in a vegetative state, like the robot part would be turned off, the human part just wouldn't be alive, and he would just be, you know, just lifeless essentially. But he's not. He's still operating, and Vegapunk doesn't get it. I think it's because he figured out how the ancient power source works serendipitously, like unwittingly. He doesn't even know it yet. And Kuma is running on the 21 grams of soul or will or love or whatever you call it. And I bet you the ancient robot here is running on the same thing, and they're gonna meet up, and maybe they're just both gonna have this moment where they're protecting Joy Boy and they blow up all the Gorosei as a chance to, like, give, you know, let Joy Boy escape or something. And it would also let Luffy see firsthand what kind of destruction these guys are capable of, both the government with the Mother Flame and the ancient weapons. So that's my guess. So yeah, I'm with you. XXL, like, blowing himself up is it. Like, whenever he says it, it's the power source, the whatever is within him that he's just erupting. So I agree with you. Vex, you said he said the thing. Is that me saying serendipitously? Is that the thing, or was there another thing? I feel like that's the thing. Oh yeah, Drew Von K, that's a very good point. Goldie Roger told Pedro that you'll have a chance to help me when he helped Luffy, and obviously he blew himself up, right? He offered himself, he blew himself up with, like, dynamite or whatever, and so now Emeth is going to get to do the same thing by blowing himself up to help Luffy, aka Joy Boy. Cooking, dude, cooking. I love that. That's great. That is, like, you even think about, like, Here You Look, right? Kind of doing similar things. There's definitely a couple other examples of people blowing themselves up, right? Like, I'm embarrassed. I know there's a couple other ones, but either way, it's, yeah, that sacrificial lamb type idea. Oda loves that. Like, I don't know if sacrificial lamb is necessarily the right way to put it, because this is a little different, but same, you get the idea. You know, Oda loves that. So, but I gotta say, just while we're on the topic, why is Pedro's grave in Wano? Can someone please just give me a reason to latch onto? And no, them being at Wano isn't enough of an answer, because they don't even have his body. Just put the grave on Zoe when you go back, Carrot. You know, like, Pedro didn't die at Wano. His body's not there. He had nothing. Did he even go there? Why? Oda, why? Like, Zoro goes to go see Yasuo's grave and Pedro's grave, and I'm like, one is not like the other here. No offense to Pedro, but, like, it could have just been a Yasuo grave situation, you know. You could have had a Carrot Pedro grave moment later, man. I don't know. Kush Daddy said Zoe's gonna die at the end, I bet. Okay, Zunisha dying might be somewhat of a reason, because then the grave won't get wasted. But how many mink graves are already on Zoe? Like, I almost think Pedro would rather be there with the rest of the, you know, people who got buried, you know? I don't know. It just makes me laugh more than anything. Oda just was not thinking when he okayed that decision. You know, like, I just don't know. And it may be worse is that he went and saw two graves and neither were Ryuma's, you know, like, Of all the graves to go look at, please make it the one that you gave up your sword for, you know? Like, please, man. Please. Kuya said Pedro should have had a grave in Whole Cake. Ideally, that would be the case, because that's where he died, and like, didn't they, like, other minks died there, right? I don't know where they would have buried him, but, like, the whole Zeppo situation and stuff. So, you know, I mean, it would have made sense, more sense than Wano, but, like, Pedro never even went to Wano, from what we know, so... MLEM, dying or dead minks are thrown off Zunisha. Oh my god, dude. Could you imagine? Like, it's just like, oh, well, they're dead, just... They're fish food, you know, we're good. We don't even care. I mean, I wouldn't be, well, no, I would be shocked. I was gonna say I wouldn't be shocked because, you know, Zunisha's like back is just an elephant. Maybe they can't dig to bury people on Zunisha's back, but there's like trees. So like obviously the dirt goes deep enough to do that. So I don't know. Oda, if I ever have a chance to talk to you, the first question out of my mouth might be, why is Pedro's grave at Wano? That might actually be one of the first things. If I'm on my deathbed, then I'll say, hey, draw me Laboon and Brook meeting. But if I'm okay and I'm just talking to him, that's going to be my first question. Because he won't have an answer. That's one thing. He can weasel his way out of a lot of stuff. I don't think he has one. Seaworthy said knocking out Lilith so she can't be tracked was a smart move by Atlas. I agree. I thought that was actually a good character moment for Atlas, oddly enough. Like, Atlas is a like aggressive character. Like, you think about earlier in the arc when Atlas went like right after Lucci and then got freaking destroyed by Lucci, and had to go like repair Atlas's face. I think it's kind of a good moment for Atlas to come in and just punch Lilith and be like, all right, shut up. Like, you're good. Let me solve this. Like, that's cool. It reminds me a little bit, and I mean just a little bit, of at the end of Thriller Bark when Sanji and Zoro were kind of like fighting to see who can like sacrifice themselves for Luffy. It's like, I guess that's the way to describe it. And Zoro like knocks Sanji back out a little bit, so he's like, hey, I got this. I don't want you even in this. Like, it reminds me of that a little bit. So yeah, I like that moment a lot. Bean Boy, the dead become furniture and clothes. Yeah, man. Every I mean, if you ever see like a floor pelt, you know, like they have, you know, like a lot of rich people, or like, I guess I don't even know if rich people actually do this, but rich people in TV shows have like the pelts up for like a rug, like a tiger pelt, like on the floor right in front of the fireplace or something. So we should go back and look in Zoe and see if there's any pelts anywhere on the ground, like in any of the buildings, and then we'll know what they do with the minks when they're done. You know what I'm saying? If we see any usage of furs anywhere, we know that the minks are not to be trusted, especially Carrot. We already know that, but that would be confirmation if we see pelts anywhere. Let's see. So I think, let me double check, make sure I didn't miss anything on Twitch. I always feel bad for the Twitch users because I never really check over there, and from what I understand, Twitch really doesn't like it when people do what I do, where they like they multi-stream but don't pay any attention to their service, which kind of makes sense, to be honest. But so Twitch, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but hey, I didn't miss anything anyway, or at least there's no donations or anything. So, all right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up here in a second, but I just want to say before you all go, for one thing, thank you for watching, as always. We will be back next week for next reaction, but before then, we should have the giveaway this weekend for the TCG. If you signed up, if you're a member and you signed up, the next sign-up should be here very shortly this week. Right after the next giveaway, I'll do the sign-up. And then Lodestar video tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I am probably going to add a little bit of something from this chapter, but nothing got debunked. If anything, it got strengthened. So be on the lookout for that. I think it's going to be a good one. And feel like I had something else to say, and I don't remember, and I feel like this happens every week, so I'm just gonna go, and if it comes to me, then it'll come to me, you know. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you haven't already. That's where we can talk pretty much whenever about the recent chapter, and like David Cott said, he's got the best memes in the game. That's where you're gonna find him. Last question I'm going to answer real quick. 2 questions. David Cott, you said, Dax, do you think we'll get a Marine Civil War or Massive Defection right after this arc? I don't know about right after this arc, but that's definitely coming. There's going to be a moment where Akainu acts on his own, and not in a pro-pirate way, but where he becomes a 3rd faction, or 4th if you know, world government is one, and the Marines might become another, the revolutionaries might become another, and then the pirates will become another, and maybe tangentially the revolutionaries and the pirates would be on the same side because they both want the same thing, even though they don't really work together. And then I think the Marines and the government will be similar, where they want the same thing, like they want to take out all the pirates and keep in control, but I don't think they're going to be working together because they won't really, that's just how it'll be. So I do think so. And then also Drew Vaughn, you said, Dak, what's your prediction on the Elders? As far as Egghead goes, if Kuma and the ancient robot blow up, like we were talking about earlier, because they run on the ancient power source or whatever at this point, like it's their 21 grams or whatever it is, then I definitely think they're getting some permanent damage from that blast, without question in my mind. In fact, I think that attack that the robot was going to use earlier, but it malfunctioned, I bet you that would have done some crazy damage, like permanent, to the Gorosei also. So that's my prediction. They are going to blow up. They're going to hurt the Gorosei, probably not kill them. If they kill any of them, it's going to be Topman, obviously. But I am starting to lean towards one of the Elders getting replaced. I hope it's Topman, but I think it's just... Honestly, King Recon is the one who convinced me because of my redacted video. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the idea, but I didn't really like see it or feel it, because sometimes like a theory, I want to see like the mechanizations of how a theory happens is one thing, but the beauty of the aftermath is a whole other thing, and that sometimes drives my theories a lot, where I'm like, all right, this outcome would be beautiful, so how can that even work? Like, it's almost sometimes better to work that way, and King Recon really gave me a beautiful way of thinking about it, and so I'm leaning more towards like Garling replacing one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the redacted video with King Recon here in the chat. You know, like I said, it was before this chapter, but nothing got debunked or whatever, so it's still definitely worth a listen. So go check that out if you haven't already. Coach was really cooking, but all right, guys, I'm actually gonna head out this time. So thank you guys again for watching. I'll catch you guys hopefully this weekend, and otherwise join the Discord.